Hi there, how's it going? TJ Springer back here in the Weather Center on Fox Local, YouTube, Facebook. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day so far. We're here giving you a little update on what's on tap for the remainder of our holiday weekend, our Mother's Day weekend, so to speak. So if you have any outdoor plans, not just today, maybe you're celebrating Mother's Day a little early, maybe you're getting out and about on Mother's Day itself, definitely want to break down what we could be seeing. Kind of like the past few days and really much of the last week, we have seen showers and thunderstorms with the help of little disturbances, the sea breeze, what have you, and that's been keeping things definitely not so nice. But the blessing, the plus, is that we're getting rain. That's the silver lining for the drought conditions that had gotten so bad across central Florida. Now, I do have Fox 35 Storm Tracker radar up. It is an impact day because we are expecting the threat of stronger storms once again this afternoon with the instability that builds, the moisture content in the air, and the lift from the sea breeze. So looking right now, we're mainly dry. We did have some showers and thunderstorms that were coming across our Fox 51 locales earlier on today, and that was with what is out in the Gulf now. We have a little disturbance there really coming around this main area of low pressure that is still well to our northwest, but we are keeping tabs on some rougher weather up to our northwest. There's actually a confirmed tornado warning for Holmes County, and this was also Walton County as well, making sure, yeah, it looks like it's just Holmes County. Now, if you know anybody up this way, closer to the Panhandle, in the Panhandle, I should say, closer to the capital, because again, this is actually using Tallahassee's radar site. We're not terribly far, but still well a ways from us here in Central Florida. Please keep them in the know, and definitely want to stay with, whether it be the Fox 35 Storm Team app or another radar app, just be watching the radar if you have friends and family up here, and keeping them aware of what's happening. We can see this tornado warning is in effect until 12:30 in the afternoon, and this was confirmed. I do have the what we call the correlation coefficient, or this is essentially our debris detector, and right now I'm not seeing any clear sign, at least with this data. I imagine this was something that was spotted, maybe a funnel cloud, and eventually something did touch down, but at least not seeing that, clear debris ball in this data here. It's definitely a messier looking setup when you look at the radar. You can kind of see a little, inflow notch right in here, kind of where the mouse is. But I would definitely say some hail, some large hail, just to the east of Errant Settlement and in this portion of Holmes County. That severe thunderstorm warning has been extended up into, if I zoom out a little bit here, up into portions of Alabama as well. So if you live, say, in Dothan, I'm sure the local news there is watching this closely as well. But just a sign that there are certainly wind energy in the atmosphere with this system, and we could be seeing some of that over Central Florida as we head into our Monday. So we'll talk a little more on that in just a minute. But the big picture is certainly a little more unsettled. We can see that area of low pressure circulating, and that's where the wind energy is the greatest, where we have seen those tornado warnings here in the Panhandle this morning. There is still some moisture up across far northeastern Florida, a couple of showers, but the bulk of that now getting offshore, and now we can see there's some more that is coming into play across the open Gulf that is starting to head toward the coast. So we'll have to watch that activity later on, but I think most of our activity today is going to be a result of the sea breeze collision like we've seen much of this week. It's still fairly bright out there. We have some of those clouds starting to bubble up, a sign that there is some instability in the air, but we're still getting some blue sky through. So if you have plans to try to get outdoors today, doing so sooner rather than later would be a good idea, whether you're getting out to the beach, the pool, the parks, whatever you might be doing, yard work. But if you have any questions, comments, please throw them in. Again, we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we're also live on Fox Local. And if anything's on your mind, whether it be something weather-related or not, we'll try to answer your question if you can. But thanks for joining us. We were doing a little breakfast chat earlier on this morning. That was, we did one around 10:30. And Laura will also be doing these a little later on this afternoon, likely when things are a little more active, as storms are igniting with that sea breeze boundary. Maybe you have plans to get out to SeaWorld today. One of the many parks around the area, the chances for showers and thunderstorms certainly going up once we get into the early afternoon. I would say really past 3 o'clock. Bring the poncho, bring the rain gear, be prepared if you're getting out to any of our local attractions. I'm not seeing any comments right now, but if you do, if something comes to your mind, throw it in there. I would love to answer. Here's our risk for today. Now, it is a low-end threat. In the green, that is a marginal risk, what we say, from the Storm Prediction Center, or a 1 out of 5 on the risk scale, or a possibility that a couple storms could include some gusty wind, some hail. Thankfully, the tornado threat today, it's low, but with all the moisture in the air, heavy rain a big concern. Looking at the ingredients for wind, I would say it's a little less than yesterday. Still there, but I would say the hail concern maybe a touch higher today, just because of the cold air that we have aloft. But some of that moisture, hardy air tries to get in aloft too, so that may try to limit some of those larger hailstones, which is good news. But hail and gusty wind, the main concerns. I don't think tornadoes are really any sort of concern today. Are they really ever zero when you're talking about severe weather? Most of the time, no. But today, we really don't have a lot of wind energy in the atmosphere at all. The shear, that's what we're saying. When we say wind energy, it's the shear and speed and direction as you head up into the sky. The twisting, that's really minimal. But what happens is, in Florida and in coastal locations, when you're talking about sea breeze storms, if a storm is to merge near the sea breeze, you could get a little bit of rotation. Myself and photojournalist Mike Schlissel, when we were out in the thunder truck on Monday, didn't have any tornado warnings, but that storm was certainly rotating, the one that we were on, the one that produced that hail. So we were watching that closely when we were out in the thunder truck. Now tomorrow, we do it again, and thankfully, same kind of setup, a wash, rinse, repeat kind of scenario for Mother's Day. Another marginal risk, or a 1 out of 5 on the risk scale, a possibility that a couple more storms could include some gusty wind and some hail. Plan on, if you're getting out for any sort of late plans, whether it be lunch, dinner, a late brunch, probably need to watch the Fox 35 Storm Team app, the Fox Local app, radar. Just keep your eyes to the sky, grab the rain gear, be prepared, because these storms are going to be moving through, especially later in the day, but there even could be a few showers around early in the day. If you have any breakfast plans with mom, just want to stay weather aware and watch the radar and watch the sky. Speaking of that, let's time it out hour by hour. This is our Fox model, and we can see that we're mainly dry. That's what we have now. Notice how quickly the storms form, though. 2, 3 o'clock, sea breeze likely starting to move inland. The storms start to ignite through dinner time. Not going to be good on the lanai, the back deck, or the patio, anything like that. Through the evening, they push off to the north and east. Still seeing these getting up toward the Space Coast, or the Brevard County, places like Titusville, past dark. Wee hours of our Sunday, they're fading. Couple showers around early Mother's Day, but then we start to see the westerly wind, the southwesterly wind trying to kick in closer to the Gulf Coast, and we start to see that storm energy rising, and we start to see these storms shifting eastbound as the sea breeze from the east coast is moving inland. So we start to see this barrage of storms as we head through dinner time, Mother's Day, and I think the storms linger into Monday as the whole upper level area of low pressure is starting to move our way. There is a boundary clearly. Zooming out some here, you can see we have a lot of rain inbound as we head throughout the day on Monday. And because of the setup, because of the wind energy, more twisting of the wind, there could be a tornado threat, a brief tornado threat on Monday. Now, we're still a few days away. What we're going to be ironing out is, can we build the instability? We'll have the moisture. There is going to be the lift from the boundary. If we have more clouds around, more showers, some embedded storms early Monday, we may not be able to destabilize, which is a good thing because that would keep the severe threat at a minimum. But severe storms are a possibility. We have a low-end risk. Again, 3 days of risks, 3 impact days. But I wouldn't be shocked if we start to see the signal for more instability, that we get this boosted up to maybe a likelihood, a slight risk, a level 2 out of 5. And with that, that would mean that we would be looking at an alert day for our Monday. So that's something we'll continue to iron out. We'll be fine-tuning the details, but definitely stay tuned. Now, I mentioned the rain. This has been really good news because of how bad the drought has gotten. And sadly, the drought may get worse once again because it looks like we have a really stout ridge building. This ridge of high pressure going to keep us dry and warm as we head through May 16th to the 20th later in the month. So it looks like this is not the beginning of the wet season or the rainy season as you maybe hoped. But at least we're eating away at that drought with the rain. But we are looking drier as we head through later month. It looks like that could be a signal that we stay drier maybe until we get into early June. That's something we'll have to monitor, looking at the long-range data, the long-range setup. But at least in the more near term, as we head through mid-month and beyond, sadly it's looking like we'll have a higher chance of below normal precip. So that drought may be a thing that we'll have to continue to deal with. But at least trying to stay positive, we've gotten a fair amount of rain here over this past week, and we'll continue to do that. I'm pulling up Facebook for those of you that are watching. I appreciate it. Again, on YouTube as well. I'm going to pull up, you actually have YouTube up here on the computer, so I'm going to see if we have any sort of comments here. Let's see, not seeing anything. I see some likes, appreciate that. But not seeing any other comments as of now. But thank you for joining me now multiple times today. Just a little update. Excuse me, Laurel, as she takes over for me a little later on today, she'll be coming in and continuing our updates here. Now we are going to take a little break on Fox Local, but we are going to stay on YouTube and Facebook Live. So if anything pops in your head, whether it be news related, weather related, me related, I'll try to answer that. But that's the goal on these little breakfast chats, or we'll call it maybe a brunch chat today because it's 12:15. We're not in the morning anymore. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll hang out here for a little bit before we come back in on Fox Local, but I'm just going to hop back on Facebook here, make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think I am. Let's see here. While I'm at it, I'll see if there's anything that I missed on the previous breakfast chat. Let's see, all comments. Make sure I'm not missing anything there. Don't think I am. I think I kind of got through all those comments. But if there's anything here which I'm not seeing. Oh, hi, Bill. There's a comment. Thank you for asking. Bill asking about the sea breezes and where they will collide. Great question, Bill. Let me hop back on our future clouds and radar, and I can pull that up. Yeah, they've been kind of colliding like right over Central Florida, in the heart of the viewing area of late. We've had that strong southeast wind. I think that's going to be a factor here today. Let me see, where am I at here? Find that graphic. Okay. Alrighty, so here we go. Through time, we start to see these storms colliding. This is like, there's a sea breeze there, and it's kind of in that 4 to 5 o'clock realm, right on top of the metro, as we head through the remainder of our day, and they continue to work off toward the east-northeast. Kind of erratic with that lack of upper level motion, or lack of upper level wind, excuse me. There is the shower and thunderstorm activity as we head through this evening, continuing through dinner time, continuing to work away from Orlando. Still could have some lingering showers and storms even through midnight, but the wee hours of our day on Saturday, we'll start to see those fade away before we see more activity as we get into our Mother's Day. I want to welcome back our viewers on Fox Local after our little 2-minute break. Making sure I'm not missing anything here comments wise. Bill, that was a great question. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be certainly an unsettled afternoon. Let me go back up to our radar. If we do a little reset here. If you're just joining us on Fox Local, Facebook, YouTube, talking about our storm threat through the remainder of our day. We had some storms around our Fox 51 locales earlier on this morning across Alachua, Levy, Dixie, and Gilchrist counties, but really have been dry across the Orlando metro. We've seen a fair amount of sunshine, still seeing that peeking through out at the beaches. Not a ton of people out at the beach right now, but overall, sun getting through from Lake Fairview to Titusville to downtown Orlando. Now, this is a kind of a sign of what's to come. You can see we have multiple tornado warnings ongoing here across Holmes County until 1 o'clock. That's since been extended heading up toward the Florida, Alabama state lines. If you have any friends or family up there, certainly want to keep them in the know. See, I'll pull that up and see if I can get pull up the Tallahassee. Let's see here. We want our debris product here, and we can see we're not getting a clear debris ball. I know this is saying it's confirmed. I know this is shooting a little high from the radar site there, but you can kind of see there's certainly some hail. You're not seeing the red. Remember, if it's red, that means uniform properties in the atmosphere. That's what it's picking up on. But if you're getting the yellows, the greens, the blues, that's either debris or some hail. So, but the National Weather Service still going with its confirmed tornado warnings. If you have any friends, family up there, make sure they're staying weather aware and just keeping their eyes to the sky and sending good vibes, thoughts, and prayers. Make sure they're having a way to receive those watches and warnings. But closer to us, we are dry right now. There's one little shower that's popping up on the Polk County line right now. But aside from that, we are really not seeing too much. A little bit of activity offshore, another little shower just to the north and east of Lakeland, northwest of Auburndale, south of Polk City. But I think it's going to be really the sea breeze that starts to generate our activity, seeing some more activity across South Florida, inland from Sarasota and Bradenton. But aside from that, we have been mainly dry here today. Another look at the beach, seeing some of that sun. If you want to get out to the beach, if you want to get out to the theme parks, anything from a hike to a jog to a run, we're still seeing the sun, but through the afternoon, it's certainly going to be more active and more unsettled. Let me pull up our 7-day forecast. I know we didn't get to that yet. If you're a fan of the heat, you're a fan of the sunshine, that's what's coming once we get past this unsettled stretch. Saturday, today, Mother's Day, Monday, all impact days for the showers and the storms. But once we get this ridging, this area of high pressure really builds in, brings the heat back, brings the sunshine back. As we head through Thursday and Friday especially, I'm sure some spots could climb back into the upper 90s on Friday. Our average is 88. We're going to be above that as we head through time. And if you're visiting, it's going to be good for the beach, good for the pool, good for the theme parks. I'm going to pull back up our risk for Monday one more time. So again, looking further out, this is our risk for Monday here in the green. A possibility of severe weather. A couple storms could include some gusty wind, some hail. Now, the difference on Monday is that with some of that wind aloft upstairs in the atmosphere, we could see that potential for a brief tornado or two. It all depends on where that upper low is in relationship to Central Florida, how close it is, but this could get upgraded, could see a more of a likelihood for severe storms, but that's something we will certainly be continuing to watch as we head through the day on Monday. So be sure you're staying tuned with our latest forecasts, myself, Laurel, through today and tomorrow, and then with Brooks and Jess and Noah as we kick off the work week. I should say, actually, myself and Jess and Noah. I'll be in for Brooks on Monday and Tuesday. So we'll be in on Good Day Orlando. Be sure you tune in. We will have the latest on the storms and what we're expecting as we kick off the work week. I'm not seeing any other questions or comments on Facebook right now. Before we go, let me hop back over to YouTube. I'm not seeing anything there either. Let's see. Oh, I do have some. So we have someone asking, why can't Ocala get any of that rain? Dry as a bone here. I feel so bad. I know because of where the sea breezes have been forming, the storms. I know it's been kind of erratic, but I know we've been missing a lot of the moisture in Ocala. So your best bet for moisture is going to be, I think, Sunday into Monday, late Sunday into Monday for those of you in Ocala to hopefully get some rain. Monday is going to be more widespread. We actually have a 100% chance of rain just because of how much coverage we're likely going to see with this storm system and this area of low pressure working in. Great question. Spirit Wolf YT saying, what's up, y'all? Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Thank you. You too. Hopefully you're having a great weekend as well. Let's see here. MLK35 saying you're in Tampa. Hello to you in Tampa. I know you've had a few more showers and thunderstorms out your way this morning, but better chances certainly as we head through the day, Sunday into Monday, down your way. Let's see. Let me bop back over to Facebook here, make sure I'm not missing anything before we hop off. But I appreciate all your questions and comments. Thank you so much. I'm not seeing anything else on Facebook, so I think I'll leave you here. And again, if you have anything, please throw it in the comments. I'll try to answer it as quickly as we can. Be sure to join Laura. She'll be doing some updates as well through the remainder of the afternoon and evening. Be sure you check in with her on Fox 35 News at 5 and again at 10. And then join myself and Caroline on a Good Day Orlando bright and early at 7 o'clock on our Mother's Day. But I appreciate you all, and thanks for hopping on for a little breakfast, a little midday chat. Have a good rest of your Saturday, and be sure you stay tuned for the latest from